This is the third time I've tried to stream now, and something's gone wrong in the first few minutes of each one, so I'm just going to update the information and the thumbnail and get right back to you guys in 2 minutes. Okay, it seems like we're good. 1 second, guys. There we go.
Hey, wash up. Star Trek today.
Okay, I think this is an old game, so I'm going to delete that and start it fresh. Get this out. Sorry for all that. Always sounds like shit when you're playing with the microphone. Anyway, here we go.
I am here.
Hey, what up, brother? Hey, it's your birthday today, right?
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready.
Yes, it is low. Gonna go live at 2 TEZZ to celebrate.
Perhaps more than any of them.
Excellent, mate. How long
Fortunately,
is
nothing ever
that?
stays the same.
Because I'm gonna
It's
definitely come and be there with you,
Nature of the
mate.
universe.
We'll try and get as many people as we can
Change is
in, if we can
inevitable.
get some people in. That
And
is,
while entropy
I don't know.
says order
But
gives
I'll
way to chaos,
I'll
in
tell
this
everybody
case,
on the group to come and
change
join
is
us for a
good.
chat. So yeah, how long till you do that? So I've just started streaming, and if you give me a time, you say at 2 p.m. I don't know how long
Our
that
new
is.
first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying.
So this is the beginning of
These
this
little
game.
shuttles are the worst.
Stick around in Starfleet and you'll be sure to see worse than this.
So everything that I say and
I
do
have.
is going to have an
And you're here to
impact
talk
on
about
my career,
In the
I
flesh.
believe.
That's good.
This is the first Star Trek game I've
Sorry,
played
I'm a little
since
anxious.
I hadn't
Elite
noticed.
Forces.
I'm on my way to my
That's a
first
long time ago,
assignment.
that is.
When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the rest.
So I will be going live at 6 TEZZ in your time.
6 p.m. my time.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th
Oh,
hour.
so that's in like sort of 45,
But if she's
35
half the
minutes.
officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy. She'll be the
Okay, I get this.
she needs,
I
right?
get this through the first 30 minutes, and then I'll come over and join you on your stream, mate. Don't forget to leave a like before you go, though.
Maybe I am not good at time zones lol. What time it would be for you? I am going live at 2 TEZZ in American time.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy. So, there's that.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough, but you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds. Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalen test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really...
What's your favourite Star Trek,
It's
Dave?
an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
The pleasure's mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
No, it's weird because I don't
Gonna
usually
take
play
a
as a
nap
woman.
first, love. Tired from my workout.
Yeah, no worries, bro. Like I said, don't forget to leave me a like.
And I don't watch Star Trek, just here to support you.
No, don't watch Star Trek. It's divisive, isn't it? Some people do, some people don't, like Marmite. I'm a big fan of Star Trek, Star Wars, all that kind of stuff.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermot is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Ah, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
Excuse me. Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
Excuse me.
Alrighty buddy, going into lurker mode. Gonna leave the stream on for watch HRS for you. See you soon.
Nice one, bro. Yeah, we'll see you soon, mate.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework.
Like I said, we're very lucky. The USS Resurgence.
There it is, the big ship.
She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels
Well,
go, she can
the
more
little
than hold
big
her
ship.
own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An
So they're
accident
giving me a
suggests
junker,
fault.
essentially. That's
No
been
one's to
welded
blame.
back together
It
through
was
the
a
middle.
planned test, but the
Nice
warp
one,
core
guys.
was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
It's been 6 months. What's the attitude among the crew now?
Unsettled. But I hope that a new mission will help them move forward. If not, move on. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Trust is earned, and it sounds like I have my work cut out for me. But I plan on winning them over.
I don't doubt that. I just figured it was better to know what you were walking into.
Of course.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Stuck. I got just the thing. is that?
There's that
I
classic
thought the
sound.
thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Neely.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
Orders are orders, Neely. You know what they say? There are no small missions. Every expedition has a purpose.
Even if we don't know what it is yet. Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Edzelar, TEZZ. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edzelar on repeated occasions.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Commander, if this energy storm is causing problems here at Space Dock, what does that say about what we're gonna find when we head out there for real? Shouldn't we let this storm pass?
Long-range sensors show that conditions will indeed be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. Thusly, we are taking all necessary precautions. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes, Commander
Roger that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know,
Hey Tez, the funeral went very well, just got back, and to say hi I'm going to hang out with the family lol.
so they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule.
It all comes down to us, Neely.
I'm glad everything went
We're
okay
the
for you,
ones
bro.
who get it ready.
Yeah, no worries. You
I
go and
know
like
what we can
chill
do.
with the family, mate.
But
You
this
take care now.
isn't
Catch you
just
when you're
any
ready.
old refit or
See you later,
any old
bro.
relaunch.
Whoa. Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement.
See you later, M8.
That's for sure.
They seem alright. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa!
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Yo, we're gonna get to walk on the outside of the ship, man. Yes. Just like in First Contact. Oh, it goes really slow.
That view never gets old.
Star Trek. Oh yeah, TEZZ cool.
Oh yes, yeah, it is cool, mate. I'm a sucker for Star Trek. What can I say? I know you are because I've seen you Starship Enterprise. So I was saying earlier that the last Star Trek game that I played was Star Trek Elite Forces. I think Star Trek Elite Forces 2, 1 and 2. But yeah. Last time I played a Star Trek
The
game.
old ones are the best.
I never played any of the other old ones because they never lived up to expectation. They just didn't. So I ignored them. Even the Star Wars ones, to a degree, I kind of ignored the games until they became good.
I don't know much about Kobleons. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel
Of
free
course,
to
you had
make
that
yourself
film
at home.
come out, First Contact.
And help yourself to whatever you
So
like
that
from
kind
your
of helped because when Elite Forces came out, that was the
Yeah,
first-person
did a Elite
shooter.
Force 1 on my channel. It's classmate.
Yeah, I enjoyed that back in the day. Elite Force 1. That was, yeah, that was something to behold, that was. Go around shooting Borg. Yeah, that was, I mean, I was just saying because of the success of the
Mint film
film.
TEZZ.
Yeah, it is a mint film. It was, see, my kids hated Star Trek. They hated it up until the point where the Borg came into it. Then the moment the Borg came into it, they were really into it. And they watched it ever since.
Last time I saw
Elite Force 2 is still good too.
Yeah, Elite Force 2 as well.
one of the most prestigious assignments
It
possible.
was like I say, it was the first time it went into like that first-person shooter kind of experience where you could roam around the actual ships and so on.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare. But unfortunately,
I still think, yeah, I still think that they haven't made the best Star Trek game yet.
Unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient.
Exploring round THR ships.
Yeah, so that's the interest that people
I agree.
like. Yeah, going around those old
Suffered some
ships.
damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
You'll have to forgive me. I don't really know the details.
So I suppose this is Next Generation era, or
Probably because
yeah, it's
they
got to
want
be Next
protect me.
Generation era around that time.
But I don't mind telling you.
But I'm not
We
exactly
were on the
sure
verge of a major
when
scientific
it takes
breakthrough.
place.
A quantum leap forward in warp core technology.
Because, you know, with Star Trek,
10,000
there's
teradynes
so
per
many
second.
yeah, they're in the future, they're in the past, they're in the present, all at the same time running TV shows and comics and whatnot, so I don't know where this takes place.
Within our grasp.
The last Picard series was Class TEZZ.
Yeah, I watched that. So Picard series 1 and 2, I thought to myself, no, this is terrible, it's not working, it's not good. And then the third one came along, and he had the old Enterprise in it and whatnot. It did have a lot of fan service in it, but it was great.
As captain, I have to take full responsibility.
And they should continue in that mould and pass the baton on from those actors.
With the consequences.
We all know the risks when we sign up. There are no guarantees, as much as we tell ourselves otherwise.
Do you have any interest in the new Star Trek with Captain Pike? Because that looks quite good. That's not bad. I've watched a few of them.
In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Willing to trust me.
I mean, there's Discovery that's coming to its last season as well, which I'm not too much of a fan of. It diverged a bit too much, I think.
I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's
Yeah, enjoying that one. Didn't like Discovery.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that. Strange New Worlds has got something going for it. I suppose I don't know. Have you seen Lower Decks as well? Because there was a crossover with one of their episodes, which was fun. That they crossed over with an animated episode.
We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has
Also,
us with what
since I've got you here, what's your view on the new? Well, I say on the new on the Star Wars universe. I know we're in Star Trek land at the minute, but
seen that. Thought it was a bit strange. Haha.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think on the current
peacekeeping mission?
Star Wars situation? Is it good? It's bad, right? It's bad. But are you watching anything? I'm watching The Bad Batch. I know it's an animated thing, so some people say, what are you doing, TEZZ? But I'm like sort of all caught up on it. But The Acolyte, which is coming soon, looks awful.
A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. You'll never guess where it leads.
See, I don't know whether you cross streams and go into the Star Wars universe as well. I've always said I'm a fan of both. I've got time for both of them.
Not watching new Star Wars.
Exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us.
No, yeah, it's not watching new Star Wars. Some people are the same. But there again, there's some people the same with Star Trek, and they say like, I watched it to Next Generation, and that's it. I don't watch anymore. So you've not tried any of, say, The Mandalorian or Ahsoka?
The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving,
so I'm guessing your loyalties lie with Star Trek then, which is fair enough. I suppose I'm a bigger Star Trek fan than Star Wars fan. If I had to give it a percentage.
Entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
Thank you, but I feel like I still have some.
There's a lot of talking in this game.
And if you're willing to put in the work,
I'm usually the kind of guy that likes, to shoot stuff relatively quickly.
Let me introduce you to the crew.
Them two series were great. Love old Star Wars. One a massive fan as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, we were born in that sort of era, weren't we, where Star Wars was the thing. I mean, you really could not like it, I suppose, because you'd see mod. Everybody had the lunchboxes, the top trump cards. If you went to school and somebody said, like, you see Star Wars, and you went, no, people would be like, what are you doing? I can remember one of the biggest...
Had all the toys, etc., grinning, squinting face.
Yeah, the toys, etc. Everybody knew what Star Wars was. I think Star Trek, though, not everybody knew what Star Trek was, because I think kids like us looked at the old Star Trek TV shows when we were young and thought, nah, they look horrible and old-fashioned. And it wasn't until you was a bit older that you thought, actually, I better watch these. I don't know if you agree with that. Oh, I don't know where I am now, I'm getting stuck. Let's have a look around. I always find that it's good to have a look around. Just in case I miss anything. See what I mean? This looks good. Walking around the old starship. I just want to get to the bridge. Where's the bridge? Guess I've got to follow this boring old guy.
This looks nice.
Oh, there's the bridge. Here we are. Yeah, it does look nice. This is the PlayStation 5 version as well, so the best graphics you can get in console.
Is this free?
No. My lad bought this for me for Christmas, but it don't cost too much now.
Our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility is
So he's
more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Is it on PC?
Next,
I should imagine it is on PC somewhere. If you've got an high-flying PC that can handle those sorts of graphics, I should imagine it is. And so I was just about to say that I imagine like a high-end PC has better-looking graphics.
An honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time. And I look forward to learning as much as I can from you. That's very kind of you to say. I'm happy to be here. Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kodiak.
See, look at the hair. The hair just doesn't seem to work.
Starfleet stands up for people who can't.
Yeah, I've seen better graphics for hair. This is awful.
But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it.
Plus, some of the characters in this game suffer from that dead eye sort of look.
Something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything.
Definitely, mate.
But you definitely set a standard to strive for.
But it's getting better. It is getting better. I mean, I think if your character, if you feel for your character, then you'll enjoy the game more. If you feel like you're just playing a kind of, well, I call it dead character, really, because you get no feel from it. And it's the eyes that does it. The eyes. There is a few good games that deal with this quite well. See, for example, I played Days Gone last year on the PlayStation 4, and that looked great, that did, for a PlayStation 4 game.
Did you complete the Robocop game, TEZZ?
Yeah, I completed RoboCop, and I completed, completed the campaign part of Dead Rising as well. Look at this, I get to sit in the captain's chair. Oh, there's two of them, but I get the big one, right? Yeah, I get a big one.
Commander, Chief
Hey, I tell you what, mate. I went to Blackpool about 6 years ago, and I got to. They had a Star Trek thing on there, and they brought the props over from Discovery, and I got to sit in the captain's chair.
Permission granted.
So I have sat in an actual real captain's chair, the one that Jason Isaac sat in.
Cool grinning squinting face.
Yeah, it was a good day, that was. I loved it. I went with my son. And it had all the costumes from Next Generation and the movies. It was a great day. Okay, we're on the outside of the ship. Just like first contact. What we got to do?
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her.
I love TNG.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a
Yeah, it was TNG that got me really into Star Trek. But there again, I did, like I said before, at the same time as I was watching TNG, I was also watching the reruns of the original Star Trek, because it was when Sky first came out, and they were. Well, hang on a minute. Yes, Star Trek: The Next Generation was on Sky, and on BBC Two.
A massive, massive machine.
Me too.
Yeah, on BBC Two, they had the old episodes of Star Trek. So you'd watch an old episode of Star Trek, and then half hour later, there'd be The Next Generation on Sky. So, and that was an every weekday thing. Yeah, every weekday thing. So it would kind of blast it down your face. Get home from work and boom, Star Trek, Star Trek. Dinner, bed.
Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be.
That's the days when BBC Two used to have some fun stuff on.
To Commander Chovak.
Now, when they used to have Red Dwarf. Remember Red Dwarf on BBC Two?
Proceed with the recalibration.
That were good fun. Okay. So what am I looking for?
Beginning recalibration.
So it's like more of a point and click type of game at the minute.
Careful. Too much action and harmonics will deflect the alignment.
What am I doing wrong? I don't know what I'm doing wrong now.
Light touch, Carter.
I assume I've got to put it in the middle. There we go.
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
Yeah, it went so hard. Oh no, I broke it.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I am the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship. First and foremost.
It's like all games these days are pretty much similar in a certain way. You've got.
I have to go now. Making the tea, haha. We'll try to pop back later if you're still on TEZZ.
Alright, but well, I'm only going to be on for about another 20 minutes, half hour or so anyway. I'm just trying to get through the first bit. But thanks for coming. Don't forget to leave a like, bro. And I'll catch you again.
And you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion. What would happen then? You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario.
Good to see, mate. Bye for now.
That's very kind of you to be concerned
See you later,
about
bud.
my well-being. But you don't need to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned, just curious, that's all. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
I don't think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
Got
Uh-oh.
a massive energy wave inbound. On screen.
What about our guys
Tracing
outside?
its
What we're going to do?
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities all over the ship.
Estimated time to impact.
Red alert.
Aye. Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection. I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our shields.
Bedrosian, get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields. Stand by. I need a heading. We've only got one shot.
Understood. On my command.
Heading locked.
Raise shields.
This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
Blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
TEZZ to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know. right?
Yeah. Suit took most of it. Snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy dampening is down to 60%.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral. EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance. Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovok can...
Oh no, I just wasn't looking at the screen. Okay, let's do that again.
Get down! TEZZ to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working?
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us. Put him through.
Resolute. The remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
The docking clamp isn't functioning.
Hi.
Option is to detonate the emergency release.
Commander,
Hi there, bud.
hear me out.
How are you?
Reverse the polarity of the hull.
I don't think we spoke before.
Will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Chara?
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
You better be sure you make the right decision.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
What is the holdup?
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara.
I hope this works.
Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark!
Ah!
Grab my hand! I got you.
Thank you.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it. I got you. Petty Officer Edselar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc to approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There's an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edselar there to access the interior.
Roger that. Go in there now. I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there.
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that. We made it.
They're safe. Bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
Ellie.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off. Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good. You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermot?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me. You disobeyed my orders. Well?
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information I had.
You disobeyed my orders! And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Captain, I told you I'd be honest, so here it is. Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, let's just boil it down to, you did what you had to.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir. All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar. you do it, set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Gotta say, that was pretty cool.
Me?
The way that it just flew in through the window. Just gotta do it.
Hell.
Can't go engage, can we?
Do it.
Yeah, do it. Someone messaging me. Who is that?
Nicely done.
Easy.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look so good.
Uh-oh.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
She's tripping, man. Tripping.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest.
Good day, mate.
You should worry about yourself. Your duridium levels got dangerously low and
Yo, it's a zombie. What's up, dude?
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
How's your day
My name
going?
is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet.
Are you a Star Trek guy, zombie?
I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
I know what it means. And I know the responsibility that comes with it. But I can't be anything more than who I am. And if someone has a problem with that, or expects something else, then that's their problem, not mine.
That's exactly right. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with
Also,
his methods?
mate, guess what?
I don't agree with his definition of
I downloaded Far Cry 6. I did.
when the lives of your
I haven't
crew
started
are at
it yet, but I've got it.
My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. The breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. The more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
I think after what happened, Captain Solano's learned his lesson. And whatever ambition he once had is on hold for a while.
He may say that, but you'll see what happens. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took guts to defy a direct order.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
Lieutenant Bedrosian.
I came to see if you were okay. We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one knew what was happening.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
You don't have to explain to me. I understand. I'm just glad you're okay. You trusted me earlier with the shields, and I appreciated that. I want you to know that I have your back.
Thank you.
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual.
Okay, let's have a look what's going on. Alright, so you have to like sort of build up your character between each of them by doing the right thing.
Everything else that goes with the storm.
So lots of
That's
choices.
A combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing. She's come by a couple of times to see you already. Be brief.
Yeah, these guys gonna get it on, ain't they?
It's good to see you awake
They're
again.
gonna get it on.
I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duvall. You did take one hell of a shot, though.
Ah, come on. You know you can't get rid of me that easy.
Don't push me, Diaz. You do not want to see me try.
No, nope. I am not getting on your bad side.
I am a formidable enemy. Nilly was looking in on you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now, I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you, instead of tiptoeing around it.
It's okay, Miranda. You can tell me anything.
I know that.
Then come on. Just spit it out.
I'm trying. Let me talk. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
Are you sure about this?
They're my feelings. Of course I'm sure.
Well, I just mean, seeing me in here, after we almost got killed out on the hull.
I felt this way before that, Carter. I like you. And I think there could be something more for us. So, what do you say?
I like you too, Miranda. And I'd like to see where this goes.
Good. I was really hoping you'd say that.
Sorry to interrupt, but the patient needs to rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
I wonder how inappropriate those guys get.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain.
Star Trek is trash, but now is Star Wars.
Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left.
Yo, look who it is. Yeah, you say Star Trek's trash. If you tried the Strange New Worlds,
Located the shuttle.
Opening
because Strange New Worlds ain't too bad. I'm beginning to warm to that. like Discovery's like it's gone so far downhill and so far away from Star Trek what it should be. It's hard to keep up with, hard to get along with.
I can't get it any clearer.
But Strange New Worlds has that Star Trek feel for sure.
You won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the
And
beam.
Beardy Bro,
Pull them
how you
directly
doing,
into the
buddy?
docking bay.
Here's a shout out for the Beardy Bro Show. The Beardy Bear Bro Show.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
The Beardy Bro Bear Show. Anyway, his link is down below in the comment section. Go and check him out.
Sure.
So if you like a bit of Xbox, go check this guy out. This guy makes me crack up.
Come on, Diaz.
Say it as fast as you can face with tears of joy.
Lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
I ain't gonna be able to say that fast, mate. The Beard Bro Show. Oh no, I can't do it now. I'm trying to think. Hang on, let me get through this. What am I supposed to do? Right, okay. Yeah, okay.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Oh, let me just get through this bit, dude. Yeah? Okay. I got it. No! Too slow. Oh, maybe I should have been faster on that.
That's gonna take out the shuttle. Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it.
Is this a game?
Yep. This is... What? I don't even know what's going on here. Yeah, this is Star Trek Resurgence. My lad got it for me for Christmas, so I've got a physical copy. So I said I'd play it online. Since I finished RoboCop 2 and Dead Rising 4 yesterday.
Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Or was it the day before yesterday? I think, yeah, the day before yesterday. Or was it yesterday? I can't remember now. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Oh, it's this then. That was easy. It's basically a point and click adventure with your joypad, really. You just have to follow the on-screen instructions and get the right button. So I suppose you're here for the aesthetic of the game and just the fact that, oh yeah, I'm in Star Trek. Look, I'm gonna get to meet Spock. That's cool.
Ambassador Spock? The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Okay.
Well, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer...
Carter? Carter Diaz. Sir,
I am pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz. It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival. Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
All in a day's work, Ambassador. This is what I'm here for.
Quite dutifully. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
I'd rather investigate than speculate.
A sound principle.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind. Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed. And the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Lydia and Hotari. The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there. The Illydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace. Until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
What are the Hotari defensive capabilities? Do they stand a chance to hold on to the mines now that they've taken them?
It is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would prevail against the Illydian fleet in open war. But it would have been equally unlikely to predict they could take possession of the mines until they did just that, which leaves many unanswered questions. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective after all.
The Hotari just won their independence. It's hard to believe they would give that up just for profit.
I agree. It would be exceedingly difficult to bring the Hotari to that position.
Neither the Illidians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Illidians as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
The Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
I wouldn't go that far, Commander.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position. Given the Federation's involvement in the Illidium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the Ion Storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Illidian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past.
If it's keeping the two sides talking instead of shooting at each other, that actually helps us negotiate a peace.
And we'll take advantage of that as long as it works in our favor.
And when it doesn't?
All the more reason to learn as much about it as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught unprepared, should the energy anomaly continue to fluctuate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the... But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case.
I'm perfectly happy to work outside the lines.
And by extension, you will be doing your duty, Commander.
Just not too far outside the lines. Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Okay guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. We've got the first part of that out of the way. I'll come back to this on another stream another day, so thanks. I think it's over. Oh, there we go. No, I'm still online. I thought that it had gone off, but it's slip. Anyway, yeah, so I'll see you again with another episode. I'll mark it episode 2. So, here we go. Catch you later. Bye.